I've been asked a number of times recently, you know, Jed, I'm really new to Tableau. I've never touched it before. I'm not even really that good in Excel, but my boss told me to do this, or I really want to learn it, or I'm trying to get a new job. And I've been there. I understand that, you know, especially if you come from uni and you want to do a career change, or you're trying to upskill, or you're trying, it can be very difficult. Either you haven't found the right training for yourself, or the people who train you use terminology you don't understand. And I think that's the problem a lot with a lot of data science courses, a lot of Tableau courses, Power BI, is that it's like computer science people teaching other computer science people. So I'm not a computer science person. I was an engineer and I only learned Tableau and programming later on in life. So I'm going to break it down really simple for you guys on how easy, how how freakishly easy Tableau is in that it's almost like cheating at your job. So we're going to go step by step. I'm going to show you what I do when I meet people for the first time, right? You have your Excel file and you have Tableau open in the background. That's basically all you need. And the first thing we do to check is the Excel file. So let's open that up. And what we really want to make sure of is it in a format that Tableau will understand? All right. And there's only a few things you got to check. Number one, are your headings in the first row? Tick, right? Can I change the thickness of that? Oh, I didn't even know you could do that stuff. Okay. Um, Second thing is there data? Yes, there's data, right? And what's the last thing? Is there anything that's not named? No, I mean, that's pretty much all you need getting started, right? So if you've got that, then you're kind of good to go. So let's close this. We're done with that. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab this file. You can see I'm dragging it, and we're just going to drop it anywhere on this Tableau kind of palette, right? So we drop it in, right? And what it's doing is you're not actually creating a new file in Tableau. No, what it's doing is Tableau is accessing your file. Therefore, if I delete this, right, Tableau won't work, okay? Because it's grabbing from your data set. So it's not replicating it, it's just connecting to it, all right? And what we want to do is we want to bring the data set in because Tableau is now asking, what tables do you want to analyze? Oh, what tables do you want to visualize? So here there's a few sections. You've got your connections, basically that Excel file we were looking at, right? Ignore this, not important. And you've got the two sheets in your Excel file, not important, right? And what we want is this Superstore one. Now, if you have an Excel file with only one sheet, it will automatically bring it in for you, okay? But here, because we got two, we got to bring it in. So again, drag and drop, super easy. You can see it's changing orange, right? It's got that thick orange border. So you just want to make sure that happens, right? And we've brought the data in. Again, don't let all this stuff scare you, right? Not important for you. Not important. Like there's a lot of buttons here and stuff that's happening. Who cares, right? All we're concerned about is this is the sheet and this is the data, right? You can see it looks exactly the same as the data set you had in Excel. Once you have all that set up, you're good to go, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this really alluring sheet one orange button. All right, so go sheet one, and now we're ready to do visualization. And you can always go back and forth between sheet one and your data source, right? Which is the page we were just on. So I can go back and forth, right? So pretty easy. Right, let's talk about layout. I'll show you what's important. This is not important, right? This is probably not important. And almost all these buttons you can ignore, right? As a beginner, you really don't need any of that stuff. You can ignore these buttons, right? This is really what's important. And even this you can ignore, right? So just look at these parts here. Now, if you're on pivot tables, it's like that, right? You can see there's already a layout here, right? Which looks like a pivot table. You got values you can put, right? You got columns you can put up here and rows you can put here. So let's do something really simple. Let's bring in category. And I can start by just double clicking. Okay, and what you'll notice is, let me just wipe my screen. What you'll notice is it's not showing it row by row. It's actually aggregating them. And what that means is it's just compressing them, it's collecting them to show only the unique values. So these are the three unique values. Okay, and if I want to know how many sales we had for each of these, I can just double click sales and it's straight away added for me. This is the power of Tableau in that in Excel, you have to go from a giant table, do pivot tables, do all sorts of things before you can actually visualize the data. What Tableau have done is they've gone from the raw data straight to visualization. Okay, now this is just a text representation. I can actually move this sum of sales into columns and it will make it a bar chart. I can move it here and it'll do a bar chart vertically. I can move this one here, right? I can move category into labels, right? So it'll split it up. I can move category into colors. What you're noticing is, doesn't matter what I do, it's not crashing. So I can double click, I can drop this here, I can drop, I'm not even thinking, right? I can move this here, I can go subcategory into labels, I can, notice it's not crashing, right? And this is why it's such a fantastic tool that you're not so much concerned about, not making it crash. Now you can just explore your data, right? So we can get rid of all this stuff. Let's start again, do another exercise. All right, so again, I'm just dragging and dropping, getting rid of them bit by bit. Let's do another one. So I'm going to bring in sales, right? So I'm going to grab it and put it into rows, like so. So you can see it's already done a bar chart for me. It's telling me that there's close to $3 million in sales. I don't want to break this up maybe by region. So I can get region and put it into columns. And there you go. It's split it up now. Now it's saying 1.7 million, 600,000, 600,000 roughly. And what I want to do is I want to put a label of how many sales we have. Well, that's very easy. I can grab the sales and just drop it into label. So make sure it turns dark gray, like so, right? And maybe let's add another thing. Let's add category and put it into rows as well, right? So it's again split it up. Now to do some cheating and to have a little bit of fun, you'll see this button at the top, right? And what this button does is it has default visualizations you can use to really get you started on how these things work, okay? So whilst you may not understand exactly how to build them, it kind of accelerates your learning. So let's say I want to see this as a bubble chart, which is one of my favorites. There we go. I mean, it's just one click and it's already set it up for me, right? So I can see that actually central and technology seem to be the biggest contributors of sales. Maybe I want to see it as a tree map, okay? Maybe I want to see it as a pie chart, right? Or a heat map. And I can kind of go back and forth and look at all different types of visualizations. And when I was learning, this is a great way because then you can see, oh, to do this, this is the setup, right? And again, it's just drag and drop. Notice we haven't done any calculations or formulas or anything like that, right? So what I encourage you to do now is play, right? Just drop heaps of stuff in all sorts of different places and see what happens, right? Nothing bad is going to happen to your raw data because it's in Excel, right? That raw data doesn't get touched, okay? Let's do maybe some filtering. So I'm going to do a new sheet by clicking this button right here. All right, so we do a new sheet and let's filter. So I'm going to do a date. Maybe date. Yeah, let's do shipping date, right? So I'm going to double click shipping date. So you can see it's showing up by year. And let's look at the sales by shipping date. So I'm going to grab sales and put it into rows. So you can see it's already made a line chart, right? Tableau chooses the best representation of your data based on the type of data you put in here. Dates are usually shown as lines, right? But what if I wanted it as a bar chart? Well, it's really easy. I just click on this one here and switch it to bar. And now we have bars, all right? Very easy. Now let's say I only wanted from 2017 to 2017 to 2019. Actually, let's say these three, right? I don't want the rest. Well, there's two ways we can filter this, which is pretty easy. I can grab shipping date and drop it into filters. Now you notice this little triangle that appears. Yeah, you want to make sure that happens. And I can go years, right? You can filter on all sorts of things, but let's start on years. And I can just click on the years that I want. And what I usually do is if I go here as a beginner, you can go apply. You can see what happens. Yeah, only 3 years and okay. Right? So that's one way you can filter. Another way you can filter is if I just click on the undo button right here. All right, it goes back. I can actually click on these and just click on exclude. And watch what happens when I do that. You'll see something appear in filters. Exclude, right? And we'll do it for 2019 as well. So I can click on the bar chart or I can click the actual number as well. Same thing, right? And you can see it's been removed. And if I go into filters and double click this, it's done the exact same thing, right? The only reason it looks like this is because we did exclude, so I can actually turn this off and go the other way, right? Same thing. So it's including these three or excluding these two. Same thing, right? So we can do that. And let's say you wanted to investigate further. Well, tell me the categories in here and let's split it by color. So I can grab category and drop it in color. So you can see it's all split now. And I'm not really good with looking at what the labels are, so I can grab category again and drop it into label. All right, so I can see the labels now. There we go. And I'm going to make this a little bit wider. Can I make it wider? Let's actually make it bigger. So I can click on this button here and go entire view. Right? And that spreads out my entire thing. Okay? And that's basically it. I mean, there's really not much to it. Just keep playing, keep adding things. What else can I show you guys? That's probably it. What I would like to see is if you want to learn certain things about, getting started or things you're struggling with, please leave a comment and I'll be happy to do videos specifically for your problems. Just be as detailed as you can of what you're trying to do. And I'll film a video. So until then, hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you next time.